workout. We're going to work on some mobility, some core strength, and a little bit of upper lower strength. We're also going to need a box, a mat, and a kettlebell, or you could use a dumbbell. All of these exercises you can adapt as necessary. We're going to start off on our mat, on all fours. We're going to take some mobility exercises just to get ourselves warmed up. So shoulders over hands, hips over knees. We're going to take cat and cow. So that is just pushing into the floor, rounding the back off, looking through your stomachs, and then slight extension. Just drop that belly, allow the back to arch slightly, lift the head, and pulling back through. Now this is a very, very gentle movement. We're not pushing it too far. This is just to try and warm up the back and the shoulders and the hips in this position. As you're pulling up and through, try and engage that core, stomach muscles in to support that bum and to support our backs. From here, a very similar movement. We're staying in the same position. We'll just come back to neutral spine. So we should be feeling a nice flat back. And pulling the core in. We're going for something called thread the needle. That is one hand opening up and then tucking through. A little bit of rotation within the spine. Don't push it too far. Remember, your body is doing an awful lot right now. You want to keep everything nice and gentle. Just encouraging some movement and some blood flow. Last one before we swap sides. Opening it out, gentle tuck through, just bend that elbow of the one that you're resting on. Come back to centre. Let's take both of those exercises one more time. So cat, pushing up, cow, slight extension, pulling up and through. Focusing on our breathing, nice and steady. Doing one more rep. Bringing it through, let's go other arm. First of all this time, threading the needle. Lovely, reach up to the ceiling. A little bit of rotation, just dropping that shoulder down below. We'll go just one more. Back to centre. Body should be starting to feel warm by now. And then we take all of those movements just as steady as you need to. Don't push yourself, come back to centre. Take the knees slightly wider, possibly slightly wider than the mat. Bring those hands forwards a little bit. We're going to rock back into a child's pose, head down towards the mat. Rock forwards, slightly push those hips forwards towards the hands. This now is just opening up those hips, allowing the back to lengthen off. Depending on the size of your bum, depending on how far you can reach down in this child's pose, you can tuck those toes just a little bit, ever so slightly in this position. And last one here. Now I'm going to show you a variation that you might want to take, and that is using either a box or perhaps your exercise ball, pregnancy ball. You're going to rest both hands forwards, and you can take that same position and rocking back into those hips, dropping the head and chest towards the floor. So this now becomes a little bit more of a back stretch. You can start to feel those shoulders working, but it is a variation on shoulder pose. Last one. Keeping our hands on the box, just bring yourself slightly forwards. We're going to take a hip open stretch. So 1 foot up by the box. We should be quite supportive, pulling that core in. Just rock ever so slightly forwards. We'll start to feel a stretch across that hip flexor. Remember, we want to try and loosen up that pelvis, all the tight muscles around the hips, just to aid our movement within labour, so that baby can move easily into position. If you're feeling like you also want to stretch out those hamstrings, you can start to just pull back into a hamstring stretch. Toes are coming up. We're still supported with our box or with our ball, perhaps even a chair. We'll go one more rep here. Going to swap it over to the other side. So kneeling, 1 foot up by the box, and nice and supported with that chest. Drop ever so gently into it. Not stretching back too far just yet. Remember, we are loosening up the hips, then we start to move into our hamstrings. When you're ready, pulling those toes up as we rock backwards, just dropping that chest. Last rep. Bring it forwards. Just pop that box or ball to the inside. We'll come back to those in a minute. We're going back onto all fours. Now, if like me, you felt quite a lot of stretching within the pelvis, sometimes feels a little bit unstable, this exercise will help you to strengthen up the smaller muscles that support that pelvic girdle. You're going back onto your all fours, reaching one leg away, just extend and back into centre. Extend and back into centre. Now at this point, just make sure that core is engaged. We don't want the stomach muscles hanging out. We are supporting that baby, supporting the bum. One leg away and in. Away and in. And then at this point, start to squeeze the glute as you lift up behind you. We're not overextending, we're not trying to reach that leg as high as possible. We just want it in line with our backs, so that as we move, we're maintaining that flat back position throughout our movement. Last rep. We're going to take this into what is called a donkey kick. So pushing through the heel of the foot, little pulses for me. We'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swap it over in 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Rest there. Take a moment, just sit yourself back, grab a drink if you need it, take a few seconds. We can take a pause here. If you feel okay, we're carrying straight on. If you need to, do pause this video and just take a few seconds extra for yourself. Repeating our leg extension up behind us, alternating legs. Keep breathing nice and steady. It's not a fast movement, remember, we're warming up the body still. Just starting to engage the lower body muscles that we need for our stability. One more on each leg. We're taking it back to our donkey kicks. So one heel lifting, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax there. Bring it down nice and steady across on the other side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest there. Let's open those knees out or take it back to our child's pose. Just resting down, reach the arms forwards. And bring yourself back to centre. So you should be feeling nice and warm by now. We're going to take it into a core section. The first couple are on the mat and then the others are either on the box or standing, but we will give them a go. We're going to work, like I say, just in box stance first of all. We're talking about hug the baby exercise. Now, we've slightly touched on this. We're going to work through a set of just engaging the core muscles. So right now, I'm not really engaging, but what we're going to do is pull that core in and up to support our bump. Okay, so lift in, up, hold for a second and relax. In, up, hold for a second and relax. Now you can do this not necessarily just in box stance, but also when you're standing. Maybe if you're still working whilst you're at your desk, you can do these seated. Just engaging the core muscles, supporting that baby. This will help to support your back muscles as well as everything stretches. Gets a little bit looser. We've got nice strong abdominal muscles. Then we will feel a lot better throughout both pregnancy and labour. So one more rep. Now I want you to think of this movement, try and hold it there for a second. So 3, 2, 1 and release, because our next movement is going to work into a box stance or bear lift position. So before pregnancy you may have done an exercise called bear crawls, where both knees are just off the floor and you take a forward to the back movement. You're not going to take it moving at all, apart from just a slight knee lift off the floor and back down. So you can see that I'm trying to keep that flat back position. We're going to pull that core in and up, lift the knees and come down. Release. In, up, knees and release. Very small movement. We're not pushing too far. We don't want our bums coming all the way up. We are just simply lifting away from the floor, a slight hover, and back down. We'll go for 3 more here. And last one. Good, rest there, take a second. You'll possibly start to feel those ankles really engaging. Bumps should feel nice and supported. Now we've got 3 other exercises, but before we go for them, they are seated or standing, we're going to take one more round just to make sure that we are engaged in that core properly. So hug the baby, we're doing roughly 10 reps, and then back into our box stance, bear lift, I like to call them, just because of that same bear movement that you would have done before in the bear crawls. We're going to start, like I say, with 10 reps, just hugging the baby, lifting up and release. Keeping that flat back nice and steady. Shoulders should still be over hands and hips should be over knees. If you're working with me, this is rep number 5. Bringing it into our box stance bear lifts, and knees coming up and back down. Lift and engage and back down. Halfway, we've got 5 more to go. One more rep. And release. Take a second. Shake those wrists out, they may be feeling tight. Just take a few seconds and then to grab a drink. Grab a weight if you wish to work with a weight. I can show you an alternative. You do not have to work with a weight if you do not feel safe to do so. But I'm going to grab a kettlebell and we're going to have seats on our box or on our chair. So working through 3 different core exercises. 2 of them are seated, so it's going to look a bit more supported. 1 of them in a moment is standing, just to focus on our balance and make sure that we are not going to be tripping over ourselves if we do not want to land on that bump. But if we practice strength training in that sort of position, then it hopefully means we are more ready for everyday life with that extra weight on the front of us, but also when we're carrying a baby in a couple of months' time. We're going to start by actually flipping the kettlebell upside down. I like to hold the sides of the handle, some people prefer to hold the ball of the kettlebell. We're taking what is called a wood chop. Now you may have done these standing prior to pregnancy. You can do them standing if you wish, but I like to keep it a bit more supported. Feet flat on the floor, I'm engaging that core up and in. I'm working from the shoulder down towards the hip. Slight rotation. Keeping it quite steady, we're not moving fast, we're not wanting to create momentum in this exercise today, we are just focusing on some strength and rotational movement. Everything so far we've done core-wise has been very much just forwards and back, but it is good to practice that rotational movement as well, because we want to support ourselves around the sides of the floor. We'll go for 3 more. 2, and of course we have to take it on the other side just to make sure that we are nice and even. So from that other shoulder, reach it round, a little bit like you're putting your seatbelt on in the car. Just moving nice and steady. That core should still be pulling in, we're not overarching the back, we are just rotating from a high to a low position. We've got last 4. 3, 2, and 1. Rest there. So like I say, we're working rotationally, diagonally across the body. The next exercise is working more our obliques, so the sides of our core. We're going to take a seated side reach. And again, you can do this without a weight if you wish. I would sit with one hand up on my head, reaching one hand down. Still keeping both feet flat on the floor, we're not wanting to lift as we reach. So up to you, we've got 10 reps on each side. Seated slightly forward, we're not slumping into our chair, we're lifting up, pulling through. And you can see the height of the chair that I'm working at. I actually can't get much further. I'm not going to risk falling off my chair because that weight touches the floor as I reach over. We'll go last 4, 3, keep breathing, 2, and we swap sides. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest it there. Bring yourself around to centre, and this time, depending on how stable you're feeling on your legs, you may wish to hold on to a wall, rest your hand on the back of the chair, for example. We are either going to hold that weight down by our sides and simply lift the leg, hover, come back down. The whole time that belly and core muscles are engaged. Or if you'd like to test your balance a little bit further, that weight can go up, resting on the shoulder, other arm out for balance, and going to touch that same leg as arm. So 10 on this side, 10 on the other. You've got a couple of different options, and again you can go completely without a weight at all, in which case just find your balance, lifting that knee. Last two, and last one. Put that weight down, take your time, swap it over, either down by your side, you can hold on, you can go without a weight, or you can rest that weight up on the shoulder, just find your balance, take your time. Rest there. We're going to go back to our box, back to our chair, just take a few seconds, nice deep breaths. Take your time to focus on that breathing. If you're working through hypnobirthing, you may want to start thinking about that. In breath, nice deep breath, hold just for a second, and then exhale, always for a couple of seconds longer than inhale for. For example, 4 seconds in, hold for a second, and then 6 seconds out. When you're ready, we're going to go back into our wood chops. For me, this is upside down hold with the kettlebell. Start off on one shoulder, rotate down and round. This is number 8. We've got 2 more here. Cross to the other side as soon as you are ready. Take a few seconds, grab a drink if you need it. Last rep. Reaching our kettlebell down to our side with our seated side reach, 10 reps. Engaging that core, you might feel a tiny little stretch just down the sides of our core and our oblique muscles. So 3, 2, and 1. Swap it over to the other side. When you're ready, 10 reps. And then finally, when you're ready, we're going for our last set of our marches. Either resting that weight up on the shoulder, or resting it down by our sides, or even no weight at all. Same arm as leg working. Take your time here. Reps there. Swap it over. When you're ready, take your 10. Good work. Take a few seconds, grab a drink. We're moving into the last part of our workout. So just because we're pregnant doesn't mean that we still can't do weights. We're just needing to adapt. So we're going to go for a bent over row to start with in a moment. I'm going to use the box just to give me a little bit of support. Actually, probably no different from if you were doing a bent over row single arm in the gym prior to pregnancy. The only difference I would say is lift up to something slightly higher, so we're not leaning over too far. Gives us a chance just to support our core as we're moving. And I would definitely go a little bit lighter than we would normally. What we don't want to do is hold our breath at any point during the movement. We want to keep that breathing nice and steady. So go lighter, maybe a couple more reps, slightly slower movement, and supported with our box. As well, obviously you can use a chair, you might want to use a countertop, for example. If you're working out at home, you can rest on the countertop or the kitchen, and then you can take your row from there. Grab a drink, have a few deep breaths, and then we'll get going into our last section of our workout. As we've done with everything else today, we're going to work through 2 sets of 10. We've got 3 different exercises to finish off. Ideally, you are working the weight for these. Equally, you could, if you want to just work on some rotation and a light move, you do not have to lift the weight for your bent over row. Obviously, it won't quite be a row, but it will still be a nice rotation movement to support and open up the back and the chest. If you are working with a weight, one hand forward, I go same arm as leg forward, and we adjust gently, pulling back, engaging across the shoulders, helping us to support our posture. Core is pulling in to support that lower back. We're moving nice and steady. This is rep number 8, 9, and 10. Swapping it over to the other side. Take a few seconds if you need it. Pause this video if you need to. Otherwise, working straight through. Second exercise, working on our legs, a little bit of balance. Hands supporting us if we need to. We're going to step backwards into a reverse lunge, and then we're coming up to a knee lift, a little bit of balance. So that hand is just there hovering in case we need to, but otherwise we're trying to focus on our balance throughout this exercise. 10 reps on each side here. Dipping down nice and low, back knee dropping towards the floor. And we're going to spin it around straight onto that other side when you're ready. 10 reps, stepping back, rolling up. So like I said, good one for balance. When we're pregnant, we don't want to risk any falls on our bum. So if we can train it in a controlled manner, it will make our everyday lives that little bit easier. You should have more control, more strength over our movements the rest of the time. Good, rest there once you've done. We've got one final movement. So far we've worked an upper body, a lower body. Our third one is an upper and lower. Now you just need to be careful of that bump. We're going to work quite wide. So wide feet, toes slightly out. We're taking a sumo high pull, squatting down, keeping that chest up, watching that we're not tilting in any funny way. Everything is staying nice and square as we drop. As we come up, that arm is coming up towards our shoulder. We're just working around slightly circular motion. 10 reps on this side, 10 reps on the other. Whole time, core should still be engaged. Switch it over when you're ready. Bring that elbow up nice and high. You don't want droopy elbow. You want to engage across those delts. Last breath. Weight down. Give yourself a few seconds. Nice deep breaths. Keeping our heart rate nice and steady. Remember, we're not holding that breath at any point. When you're ready, we're going one more round of each. Bent over row, 10 each side. Reverse lunge to knee lift, 10 each side. And sumo up to high pull, 10 each side. And we finish with a stretch. Guys, you're almost there. You've done well. Thank yourselves for it once you're finished. Nice and steady. Keep that back and belly supported. Pulling backwards. Shoulder blade engaged. Think about that wonderful posture. Despite the extra weight on the front, still maintaining good skeletal support. Swap it over when you're ready. We've done 10 on the first side. Taking it into your reverse lunge. If you're feeling confident enough, hand just hovering, still keep it there just in case, but focusing on our balance, focusing on our posture. So everything does naturally tip forwards, try and engage it, pull up through the top of the head. 10 reverse lunge, up to knee lift when you're ready. Switch it straight over. Oh, you are turning around just so you've got that spare hand. Rest once you've done your 10. Nice deep breaths, toes pointing out. We've got our final exercise before we stretch for the day. Sumo, up into high pull, keep that core engaged. 10 right, 10 left, then we are done. Give yourself a moment, pop that weight back out of your way. Like I say, we finish with a stretch. If you need a drink, please feel free to grab a drink. Just join me when you're ready. Have a seat. Deep breaths. Slow that heart rate just back to normal. Deep breath in through your nose, hold for a second, out through your mouth. And when you're ready, one foot forwards, dig that heel in, pull those toes back. Just a gentle lean, not too far, but you should feel it all the way. up that hamstring and calf. Good time perhaps whilst you're cooling down to think about your pelvic floor exercises. Make sure that you're practicing them daily. It can be part of your workout, they can be in addition to your workout, but we just got to make sure that we are doing them. Bring one foot across the other knee, keep it supported. Just leaning ever so slightly forwards, chest down towards that leg. Should feel a nice glute stretch here. Same across on the other side when you're ready. Casting both hands forwards, push through the heel of the hand, tuck that chin to chest. And opening out that chest, hands just behind you, lifting up, pull slightly behind you, elbows, shoulder blades back, lifting up to the ceiling. And then one hand supported next to you, take yourself over into side stretch. And then pulling through the fingers, down the sides of the body, and of course on the other side. Good work. Guys, I'm AJR. That was your third trimester mobility, strength and core workout. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, please like, subscribe and comment.